Ever wondered which is the world's weakest currency? It's a question that might have crossed your mind once or twice. After all, the value of a currency isn't static. It's a dynamic entity, fluctuating based on a myriad of factors. Inflation, economic status, and political stability, these are just a few components that play a significant role in determining a currency's strength or weakness. Just as a robust economy typically correlates with a strong currency, the opposite holds true as well. When the economy takes a nosedive, the currency tends to follow suit. Political upheavals can also lead to a plummeting currency value. So, which currency takes the unfortunate title of being the world's weakest? And why is it so feeble compared to its counterparts? The answers to these questions are far from simple. Join me as we delve into the world's weakest currencies and what makes them so. At the top of our list, we have the Venezuelan bolivar. Regarded as the weakest currency in the world as of 2024, hyperinflation, economic instability, and political upheaval have led to the bolivar's significant devaluation. Currently, the exchange rate is around 7.5 billion Venezuelan bolivar to a single US dollar. Yes, you heard that right, 7.5 billion. Next in line is the Zimbabwean dollar. Zimbabwe has faced a similar fate with hyperinflation, leading to significant currency value loss. It's estimated that $1 is equivalent to about 350,000 Zimbabwean dollars. Quite a staggering number, isn't it? Moving on, we have the Lebanese pound. A combination of political instability and economic crises has led to a considerable drop in the currency's value. As it stands now, $1 is equal to around 45,000 Lebanese pounds. The Iranian rial is another currency that has been significantly weakened. Economic sanctions, coupled with internal economic issues, have led to the rial's devaluation. Currently, $1 is equivalent to approximately 420,000 Iranian rials. Last but not least is the Syrian pound. The ongoing civil war and political instability have severely affected the value of the Syrian pound. The current exchange rate is about 3,500 Syrian pounds to $1. Now, it's essential to remember that the value of a currency is not a definitive measure of a country's economic strength or wealth. It's just one of many economic indicators. Moreover, the value of a currency is relative and often compared to another, such as the US dollar in these examples. These are the current weakest currencies, but it's important to remember that this status can change quickly due to various factors. Economic conditions, political stability, inflation rates, and many other elements can influence a currency's value. So while these currencies are currently the weakest, they may not hold this status in the future. In the world of finance and economics, change is the only constant, so it's always fascinating to observe these shifts and understand the factors that drive them. It's like an ever-evolving puzzle with pieces that are constantly changing shape. So stay tuned, keep learning, and let's continue to unravel this puzzle together. Now, you might be wondering what causes a currency to be so weak. That's a great question. And the answer is a bit complex because there are a variety of factors at play. Firstly, let's talk about inflation. Inflation is the rate at which the general level of prices for goods and services is rising. When inflation is high, the value of money falls, and you need more of it to buy the same things. This causes the currency to weaken. For instance, if a cup of coffee costs you $1 today and $2 tomorrow, that's inflation at work. And if this happens on a large scale, it can lead to the devaluation of a currency. Secondly, economic stagnation can also cause a currency to weaken. When an economy isn't growing or is even shrinking, this can lead to a lack of confidence in the currency, causing its value to drop. Imagine you're an investor, and you have the option to invest in two different countries. One's economy is booming, and the other's is stagnant. Naturally, you would choose the booming economy, which would increase demand for that country's currency and strengthen it. Conversely, the stagnant economy's currency would weaken due to the lack of demand. Political instability is another significant factor. If a country is experiencing political turmoil, this can cause investors to lose confidence in the currency. This lack of confidence can lead to a decrease in demand for the currency, causing it to weaken. Lastly, corruption can also play a role in weakening a currency. When corruption is rampant, it can lead to a lack of confidence in the government and its ability to manage the country's economy effectively. This lack of confidence can also cause the currency to weaken. In summary, factors such as inflation, economic stagnation, political instability, and corruption can all contribute to the weakening of a currency. These factors can significantly impact the strength of a currency, leading to its devaluation. The weakening of a currency has many repercussions. Let's delve into some of these effects, which include increased inflation, higher prices for imported goods, and a decrease in the purchasing power of the public. Inflation is often the first domino to fall when a currency weakens. The value of money decreases, causing prices to rise. This is because a weak currency means that it costs more to purchase foreign goods or resources. When import costs rise, businesses pass these costs onto consumers, leading to increased prices for goods and services. It's a bit like going to the store with a $100 bill, only to find out that your money is now worth half of what it was. Suddenly, everything in the store is twice as expensive, and your purchasing power has been significantly diminished. This brings us to the next effect of a weak currency, the decrease in the purchasing power of the public. When the value of money falls, people can't buy as much with the same amount of money. This can lead to a decrease in living standards, as it becomes harder for people to afford necessities like food, housing, and healthcare. Imported goods also become more expensive when a currency is weak, as it costs more to buy foreign products. This can lead to a decrease in the demand for imported goods, which can hurt businesses that rely on foreign trade. Furthermore, a weak currency can be a deterrent for foreign investors. If the value of the currency is constantly falling, investments in that currency will lose value over time. This can lead to a decrease in foreign investment, which can further weaken the economy. In summary, the effects of a weak currency are like a ripple in a pond, spreading out and impacting various aspects of the economy. From inflation to decreased purchasing power, from higher import costs to a potential decrease in foreign investment, the consequences can be severe and widespread. The effects of a weak currency can be far-reaching, affecting various aspects of the economy and the standard of living. The title of the world's weakest currency is ever-changing. This is a truth that we've explored throughout our journey today. As we've seen, the value of a currency is not set in stone, but rather, it's a fluid concept, reflecting the ever-changing landscape of global economics and politics. We've delved into the stories of some of the world's weakest currencies, from the Venezuelan bolivar, the Zimbabwean dollar, the Lebanese pound, the Iranian rial, to the Syrian pound. Each of these currencies paints a picture of a nation grappling with challenges, from hyperinflation and economic stagnation to political instability and corruption. These currencies, whose value has significantly dwindled, serve as vivid reminders of how macroeconomic factors and governance can play a pivotal role in shaping a nation's currency. But it's essential to remember that these are not just stories of economic struggle. They're also stories of resilience, of nations striving to overcome adversity and chart their own path forward. We've discussed how a weak currency can have numerous negative effects. It can lead to rising inflation, increase the price of imported goods, and decrease the purchasing power of the public. However, it's important to note that these effects are not inevitable. They can be mitigated through sound economic policies and governance and a commitment to tackle the underlying issues head-on. In the grand scheme of things, the value of a currency is just one indicator of a nation's economic health. It's a piece of the puzzle, interconnected with various other components like GDP, unemployment rates, and levels of foreign investment. We've learned that the title of the world's weakest currency is not a permanent one. It can change as economic and political conditions change. While today's weakest currency may face challenges, it's not a life sentence. With the right policies and measures, these currencies can regain their strength and stability. No matter how weak a currency may be today, tomorrow always holds the potential for change.